called Life is Like That Sometimes.
Yes.
Is it a memoir?
Yes, it is a memoir. It's yet another memoir. So, the previous one was, to quote myself, which was shortlisted for the Sunday Times, for the Alan Payton Sunday Times Prize. And then this one really is about, it starts off, documenting my life back in the Eastern Cape and growing up in rural Eastern Cape and how different that was. I talk about my mother, my grandfather, and how their relationship, my relationship with my grandfather, and the fact that I lost my father it was we found out on my 6th birthday that, he'd passed away. And then I close off by talking about loss, because literally just before COVID, just before the country shut down, 4 days before, country shut down, I'd buried my brother who took his life. And then just the grieving process, grieving during, COVID, the guilt I felt because my brother had lived with me, and how I wondered how I was so unaware of his gambling, even though he's here in the house and is living with me, and whether once I found out I could have handled it better. So like, it's all that kind of stuff that I'm dealing with. And, for example, on the day after his funeral, my mother kind of said, I'll never forget this. Everyone is gone. It's just myself and my sisters. And then my mother kind of says, I'm going to die next year. And I kind of started. Obviously, I shouted. I was like, you can't say that. Like, why would you even say that? And then the grief that kind of she lived with, for the next few years. She passed away 3 years later, but it's almost as if she spoke that into herself because she was grieving so much. It's her last born son, I imagine. And for the first time in my life, I got to understand what it means when someone says a parent should never bury their child. And I got that with my mother. And so I write about that. So that's, I write about, I write about therapy, going to therapy, around that. So yeah, it was very, so that's what the book really is